and patches stories grow, stitching secrets we all know. Patchwork of laughter sewn in time, a spool of joy on every line. We chat, we sew, we laugh, we thrive. Stephen and Walter, our life. Sewing tales with every square, buttons falling everywhere. A crooked seam, but who will care? Iron presses lined so neat, friendships quilt can't be beat. Patchwork of laughter sewn in time, a spool of joy on every line. We chat, we sew, we laugh, we thrive. Stephen and Walter, our life. Sewing tales with every square, buttons falling everywhere. A crooked seam, but who will care? Iron presses lined so neat, friendships quilt can't be beat. Patchwork of laughter sewn in time, a spool of joy on every line. We chat, we sew, we laugh, we thrive. Stephen and Walter, our life. Our life. Stitch by stitch they weave the tale, a patchwork life where laughs prevail. Patterns clash, but who can tell? Quilted chaos suits us well. Stephen and Walter live on air, threading humor, they don't care. Teaching, chatting, pulling strings, life's a quilt of funny things. Pins and needles, jokes abound, sewing secrets they have found. Fabric flying all around, it's a show where joy is bound. Stephen and Walter live on air, threading humor, they don't care. Teaching, chatting, pulling strings, life's a quilt of funny things. Pins and needles, jokes abound, sewing secrets they have found. Fabric flying all around, it's a show where joy is bound. Stephen and Walter live on air, threading humor, they don't care. Teaching, chatting, pulling strings, life's a quilt of funny things. Pins and needles, jokes abound, sewing secrets they have found. Fabric flying all around, it's a show where joy is bound. Pins and needles, jokes abound, sewing secrets they have found. Fabric flying all around.
Hello, everybody. We are live, and I trust you can hear us and everything. And in a second, I should be able to check this out on my iPad monitor to make sure that everything's coming through clear. Isabel? And in a second, I should be... Yes, it is. Okay, so that is good. So I see we've got lots of people in the chat. Let's see who we've got. Of course, Russ is number one as usual. Most of us just came off of his sewing shenanigans today. And so that was a good day. I think a lot of people got projects caught up on and done and whatnot. And of course, Russ always gives us a preview to our main topic of the day. Nobody can afford gifts nowadays. Give the gift of groceries. Yeah, in some ways, that's not really a joke, with the number of food banks that are looking for stuff again this year, but they always are. But according to what I saw on the news the other day about the food banks in our area, well, they have a record number of people using it this year. No real surprise. Barb is here. Hi, Barb. And Phyllis as well. Phyllis says good morning. Okay, maybe it is where Phyllis is. I'm not sure. It's not morning for us here. Nina is here. And Julie, of course. She says hello again, gentlemen in chat. Julie, of course, was on Russ's sewing shenanigans. Faith is here. Hi, Faith. And Dubrovka from Timmins with Al, her husband, are here as well. Sweet Granny, just saw her moments ago, and she's a little tired out. That's why she's making the comment about her eyes are still open, but she says she might be watching the rest of her eye lips. I think she meant lids, or she's got body parts where there shouldn't be body parts. I don't know. But either way, well, that's okay, Granny. Sweet Granny, we'll just lull you gently to sleep. I hear we do that a lot for people. We're a cure for insomnia. And Charlotte is here. And Inez is here. And Suzanne. And Judy. Barbara Yeldon is here. And Mona is here. Seems like only moments ago that we just saw Mona. Let's see, this all bounced up on me. Gloria is here. Dana is here from Regina, and Arta is here from San Diego. Kathy is here from Utica, Michigan. I'm sure you guys are buried in snow. And let's see, what else? Clear as a Christmas bell, Dana says. I think that's referring to our audio, which is good. Candace is here, and Caroline is here. Mary Jane is here. Karen Lyles is here from the wet Pacific Northwest, Vancouver, USA. Yeah, Phyllis is in Melbourne, Australia. I thought you were Phyllis. So for you, yes, more morning. Sue is here, and Karen B. And Pat from says it's cold in New York State. Snow is snowing off and on. Maureen is here from Australia as well. Morning there. Sherry is here. Laurel is here. Joanne is here.
John is here. Oh, you said the artist?
No, did I?
Yeah, you didn't say John, did you? You missed him, didn't you?
No, I missed John. There's John. How did I miss John? Did I say hi to Sherry?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and John. Okay, and Laurel, and Joanne, and Emilia is here, and Terry is here as well, and
Barb.
Yeah, well, Barb was here
Okay, wow.
before too. Yeah, are you with the program?
No, I'm not.
It's hard to fly with the angels when you're working with turkeys. Well, whatever. So, it's a good thing you're eye candy. Not for my eyes, but I mean, there are those out there that consider you eye candy. I guess, I don't know. So, let's jump into everything, shall we? So, let's jump right in today with, before me, let's let Walter show you what he's been working on, because hopefully come Christmas Eve, for those of you that will be joining us on Christmas Eve, you will see his latest creations in full force.
I'm working on a penguin shirt for Steven. I have a snowman shirt for myself. So it's almost done. I have to put a collar on it and I put buttons on it. And that's about it.
And the collar's going to be a different color.
Yeah, I'm going to put a black collar on it. Make them look. a little different.
Yeah.
I would have put a red collar on it, but I don't have any red that matches.
Actually, I think I prefer the black collar. Anyways, but yeah, that's going to be fun. And then Walters has snowmen on it, but how far are you on that?
Actually, not very far on that one. I've sort of been concentrating on this one.
The most important one. Yes. We know that. You're right.
Well, that one I just started on yesterday, and I've almost got it done. So
Joanne likes it. Barb likes it. Barb thinks it's snazzy. It's snazzy shirt. Yeah. So yeah, they'll be fun. So what have I been working on? Well, this, that, and the other thing. So let me get some things up here for you to see. So if you remember back, I don't know, a month or so ago, I mentioned that I bought this panel called Sunny in the Sunflowers. And I got the pattern for this. It's a very basic pattern, not hard to do, obviously, as you can see. It's just borders around. But I did that yesterday at Walter's in-person sew day at the club. So I'm hoping sometime this week I'm going to get it on Lucy and quilt it quick. It's a quick project, as I said. But I'm also hoping I get this monstrosity onto Lucy as well. Now, this one, okay, everybody, okay, eyes here, ears open, mouth shut, okay? Because some people think, even though I told them that this is full of mistakes, wanted to correct it and asked me if there was a mistake in the bear paw. Yes, in the 6 bear paws, those are the 2 corner pieces, there is definitely a mistake. And if you remember back when I was working on, what quilt was that? I forget. I think it was my own design. I got one of the half square triangles in the bear paw the wrong way. And it looks like sort of like a sailboat or whatever, or a benchy if you're into 3D printing. And that was wrong. So that block, along with all these other blocks, go into a box called orphan blocks. And they're usually blocks that I don't like because I made a mistake in them, or I was experimenting with something, maybe with colors or whatever, design. And they just ended up in that. And when I get enough in there, every now and then when I need a palette cleanser, I pull those blocks out and fit them all together into what you see before you. It's a scrappy quilt, orphan block. So there are mistakes throughout this, and they're supposed to be because that's why they were in the box. But I had one person, I don't think they got that. And I think they thought that these were supposed to be good blocks. And they pointed out what they thought was a mistake. And they were right. It is a mistake. But they're all mistakes. So, yeah. So just wanted to clarify that before everybody starts to try to go through the whole thing and find the errors. Yes, there are tons of errors in it. And it's the way it is. And I'm going to quilt the hell out of it. Why? Because I can. Because I don't care. It won't matter. And what will I do with it afterwards? I don't know. I'm thinking of it possibly being a dog blanket for our niece's Doberman. Well, I think I've got another one hanging up that I did some time ago and I haven't got quilted yet that I was thinking for that too. So maybe the doggy will get 2 quilts. I don't know. Or maybe his niece will like them, and like the last one I gave her, she didn't know which one was the ugly dog one. The ugly quilt. I told her the ugly quilt was for the dog.
Yeah, the ugly quilt. She's going, I don't know which one's the ugly quilt. So either that means that they were both ugly.
Yeah, I know.
Or she liked both of them.
Or she liked both of them. So I don't know. I either got a backhand compliment or a compliment either way. But yeah, now I'm going to talk about this quilt on Tuesday on Idiot Quilter, because unless you've done an orphan block quilt like this before, there is some tricks. It's not a question of just being able to sew all of the blocks together, because your blocks may not all be the same size. So I'm going to talk a little bit about how I make it all work. And even though it looks like it's kind of random, there is some planning in this as well. But I'll talk about that on Idiot Quilter on Tuesday. So here it is, people. And if you saw So Chatty this week, I already showed it to you. Picked it up on Thursday. This is Stormy Sea. This is the quilt that, I worked on for a while, and it's huge, and it was so big I couldn't get it on my Lucy, so I took it to Quilter Quilting, and I had them quilt it and bind it, and I also had them use wool batting. I have never used wool batting before, but it's supposed to be softer and draped really nicely, and it does. And it's big enough that this quilt, I'll show you more pictures of it, but not today, but on Idiot Quilter, because I'll talk a little bit more about it then. The cost, the ins and outs of the quilt this size, and
I mean, the bed looks kind of skinny in
Yeah, it
that
does.
picture, but it's actually a queen size bed.
yeah,
so.
it is a queen size bed. Yeah, it does look skinny, but I have other pictures from different angles as well. The problem is the bedroom isn't a huge bedroom, so I have to kind of stand in the ensuite doorway to take this picture on, so that's why it looks a little bit skinnier. But I am so pleased with the quilting that they did on it and everything. It was well worth the money that I spent to have this done professionally, because if I had done it on Lucy, or, well, first of all, trying to get it on Lucy, it wasn't going to happen. And any other technique I was going to use, I would have just screwed it up. And this quilt was too precious.
You don't really see it, but it's the edges of the quilt actually drape all the way down to the floor.
They touch the floor. Yeah. At the end too as well. It's a little dark on the end, so you can't tell. But as I said, I took other pictures of it that I'll show on Idiot Quilter on Tuesday. And I can get out of this. And let's go back here. And let's see what are people saying. Back it up. I'm just trying to catch up here, looking at everything bounced up to thought. Inez likes the shirt. And so does Dubrovka and Gloria and Arta. Designing Jay here's Johanna is here. Just saw her not too long ago. Inez says, I love cats. It's beautiful.
The penguins.
Inez, are you drinking again, dear? They're penguins. Well, she maybe just wanted us to know she loves cats.
Oh, maybe.
Anyway, yeah, I love cats too, as you know. Yeah, I have several shirts with cats on it. This is my first penguin shirt. Barb says, depending on the panel, you could use a panel on the back of a shirt. That's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah, I've thought of that
Think of
before. Depends on what it is.
Yeah.
I haven't really seen any panels that really would.
But
And it depends on how wide you are
well, yeah. And what are you implying?
and how big your panel is.
What's Barb implying? I didn't think of that. Naughty. Yeah, but it's an idea.
Yeah, I know you can do fussy cut or something like that,
Yeah.
or take a portion out
Take
of
a portion out of it.
like sort of like what Adam did with the Tula Pink.
Yeah.
I still want to make a shirt out of that too.
Yeah.
Do it in a way similar way to what Adam did.
Now, if there was a big enough wolf on that one, that would look good on the back.
Yeah,
of the
I
shirt
would.
too. He put
Well,
it on
actually,
the front, but
I have also bear fabric in there too. So
oh, is there bear fabric? How bare is it? Totally naked or what? Okay.
but I would have to see what I'm gonna do with that.
Pam is here from Minnesota. She loves the sample blocks, quilt sample blocks. Yeah. Actually, I call them orphan blocks because they just don't belong anywhere. But whatever floats your boat on that. Let's see. John says no errors, just design choices. Yeah, bad design choices in some cases. Inez says, great idea. I have lots of orphan blocks. Yeah, it's a good way to use them up. And you want to know something? When you're first working on them, and I'll talk about this too on Tuesday, it looks like a hot mess and you get discouraged looking at it. But then as you start to play with it and start to sew the blocks together, I kind of like it.
Yeah, actually, I
it's-
think it looks kind of
yeah.
interesting.
Julie says, orphan block quilt would be good to try free motion.
Yeah.
Yes, but I won't. But what I might do is I might do some custom through the computer. I might not do an edge-to-edge design. I might do something different in each block, or like a variety. I don't know yet. Depends on how much time I want to spend on it too. And I may not want to spend that much time on it. Johanna says, oops, everything popped up. Beautiful quilt. Beautiful quilt season. That was a lot of sewing. Gorgeous. Well, I guess you're talking about Stormy Sea. Yeah, it was a lot, believe me. And there were times when I was going,
why'd I do this?
I was going, damn Walter. Because he's the one that spotted it. And he didn't like the other quilt, as you know, on the bed. So now, better be damn happy now. And?
Yeah, I like it.
Good.
Very nice. Very nice.
Fine. Yeah. Bonnie's here. Hi, Bonnie. Inez says, wall hanging. My goodness, I'm sure I saw a cat. If not, I'm cracking up. Oh, okay. Sorry, Inez. I thought you were referring to the shirts. No, you're not cracking up. You're talking about Sunny in the sunflowers. Yes, you did see a cat. Thought I saw a putty tat. Yeah. Yeah, sorry about that. I was off base on that one. Thank you, Gloria. Denise is here. Hi, Denise. And everyone, she says. Everyone. Fingers get tied up on the keyboard. It happens to me all the time, too. So, anyways, those are things we've been working on. And as I said yesterday, we were at Walter's in-person sew day. It's the second one. Well, it's the third one I've ever been to, I think. Or have I been to more than that? I think that's the third one. Actually, I was kind of enjoying the last two. So there's another one in January, and we already have the date for that. So I think I will go to that.
It's nice because it's in person. It's people we sort of know.
Yeah. And it's a very small group. There's like, what, 6 of us were there yesterday. And we kind of had like one of the Gail, who goes regularly.
Yes,
she brought sandwiches from Costco and salad and some Christmas
sort
goodies.
of a little Christmas.
Yeah,
thing.
we had a little Christmas thing. The sandwiches were good.
Yeah, actually,
I didn't know
good.
you could get sandwiches.
Actually, you can. Yeah.
So,
Well,
do you have to order them? You must
yeah,
have
you
to
have to
order
them. Yeah.
Crepes. For knowing that, we could have forgotten about doing the turkey. Just got sandwiches for Christmas. Everybody has a sandwich. Well, in some ways, that would have been just as good. We could have got turkey sandwiches. I don't know. Whatever. But we're not doing that. So yeah, so it was kind of fun. Now what were the boys sewing? Okay. Well, there's been straitjackets made, there's been bathing suits made,
wrist restraints made,
drag gowns made, Halloween and that. Well, the flavor of the week or the month right now is men's underwear. Yeah. One of the guys there is making men's underwear. And, well, I don't think I'd bother. Would you be interested in making men's underwear?
Not really.
No. The fabric, though, that he was using was kind of funny. It was...
Yeah, I don't know what he was using.
Well, quite frankly, I think it would ride up. Right up your... You know what?
I wonder if he was using bamboo. It could have been bamboo. I don't know. I should ask him what kind of fabric he was using. But
it was kind of
and then
silkish.
one of the other guys was making a hoodie for Secret Santa.
Yeah, and actually the hoodie turned out really nice. It was a really nice. Well, that was Brendan.
Yeah,
and Brendan
knows. Brendan is
you
very
learned
good.
So
yeah,
basic. Well, you already knew how
he
to
is
sew,
all
but...
very adventuresome too. So
yeah, but it was nice. And what was he making that of? It was nice, soft, fluffy. Was that a fleece? A
type
fleece?
of polar fleece or something. Yeah.
I wonder how hard that is to work with.
I think polar fleece is a little bit difficult.
I would think it's kind of stretchy.
Well, actually, you can. I sold what do you call it? Just regular fleece before. You put stabilizer on it on the edges when you're sewing it, so that it won't stretch when you sew it.
Well, I really like the hoodie. Yeah, I thought that was really quite nice, and it all zippered up at the front and everything.
No, it wasn't. It was a pullover.
Oh, was it a pullover?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I draw the line at pullovers.
No, I know. That's what I said to him. I said I'd prefer a zipper. But see, he was making it as a Secret Santa gift.
Yeah, lucky
and
Secret
he said,
Santa.
He said they're not zipper worthy.
Oh, see, I have a problem with anything I have to pull over my
No.
head. Messes my hair.
Yeah, I've got a fleece thing that was given to me a while back that has a zipper just that goes like down to about there, and you got to pull it over your head. And I'm not that.
Does it mess
big
up
on
your
that.
hair?
No, it doesn't. But I don't like it because the zipper gets caught in my chest hair.
Oh, oh, you're so manly. Oh, fuzzy bear. Yeah, really. Okay. I'm gonna gag now. Let's see. Colleen's here. Hi, Colleen. John says Adam used to make a lot of underwear. Or did he?
That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, well, Adam can make anything.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. I'm sure, I have a feeling Adam's, what he was making might have been. I mean, I'll give Mark credit, the guy who's doing it. Like, he started out
Yeah,
with
he's
not
a
knowing
fairly
anything.
new sewer, so he's trying different things. So that's really good that he's doing that.
And he was doing a good job on it.
Well, Brendan, he's really good friends with Brendan, who is the one that sews a lot of stuff, who taught me how to sew. And he gives them a lot of advice and helps them out with a lot of stuff. So
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not really interested in making clothing. I mean, I made the one shirt Walter taught me how. And
I'm making shirts a lot, but I still want to make a jacket and stuff like that, but I haven't got, maybe in the new year I'll do that.
yeah, I do. The more I think of it, the Barb's idea though, with using like a panel on the back or like,
Yeah, I want to get
that would
a
be
little
kinda-
bit more adventuresome with it.
I think that would be, because that would make it even more unique
Yeah.
on that. I think that would be kind of a cool idea. Jean E is here. Hi, Jean. And Kim from the East Coast is here as well. Denise says, yes, sorry, student, it was a typo. I hit send by accident trying to delete the D. Yeah, it's okay, Denise.
I think we've all been there.
We've been doing, been there before. Barb says, were they briefs or boxers?
They were short boxers.
Short boxers, yeah. Very tight fitting, and they had a special, I don't know what you, sort of a
Special pocket.
a special pocket.
Enhancing looking pocket
Pocket.
at the front.
I said to him, oh, you're going to have to take that in. But he got the joke, I hope. But mainly, fleece is easier than monkey, mainly.
Yeah. Polar fleece, I think, is a little bit hard to.
What's monkey?
Minky.
Oh, minky. Mainly me. Okay, we're having a little problem with our fingers today, too, aren't we? Yeah. Okay, we got it. It's becoming a
Well, she's
game
got
now.
mainly there.
Yeah,
but
I know. I think we're still having a little problem with the... There it is! Yay! We've got Minky. There it is. Okay. Well, you guys all have to stop drinking. Oh, John, you know what they say? When I'm good, I'm bad. And when I'm bad, I'm even better. So, yeah. Okay, so, yeah, it was fun yesterday and everything. And that's when I got Sunny in the flowers done. I mean, but it wasn't a real, I had the pieces already cut, and there's not that many pieces to cut in it. I'm not a fan of working with panels. Main reason for that is panels are never printed absolutely straight, and you always have to trim them up for the dimensions, and it can be a pain in the butt trying to trim up a panel so that, one, it's straight and it's the right dimensions for the rest of the quilt, or for whatever you're putting around it. Now, this one was pretty easy because it was straight pieces, just pieced straight pieces as border around it. So, you know, if my borders didn't quite, if they were a little too long, and they were by maybe about 1/8 of an inch or so, I just sewed them. I didn't have to match up any seams with it, and I just lobbed off the piece that was a little longer, and that worked out fine. But they don't always, not always in patterns do you have that. You might have like flying geese or something like that, half square triangles around it in something, and then it gets not as easy. So that's why, one reason why I don't really like working with panels. Let's see here. Dubrovka says, just read this. New fad making jackets from quilts. Well, actually, not so new a fad. It's been around for quite a while, people doing it. But there was a few years ago quite the controversy about people were buying quilts at like secondhand stores, at thrift stores, and they were cutting them up and making them into jackets. And there were purists out there going, no, you can't do that to a quilt. And, you know, I figure if it's in a thrift store or something like that, or you've got a quilt laying around that is you don't like anymore, but you know, you might make a decent
Or you
jacket.
could actually just get plain fabric and quilt
just
on
do it, yeah.
and cut it up and use
Yeah.
it for a jacket too. So
I've said to Walter, I'll make the fabric, you do the jacket, like with it. But I don't know if either one of us would wear one.
yeah, I'm not
That's
sure
more,
about that.
more a ladies thing.
I think it's more of a I don't know. It would have to depend on what it is.
Mind you, if I
think it depends on the fabric and stuff.
well, as
like
long as I had a bag and shoes to go with it, I would be
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, right. But yeah, that's still a thing though. And there's lots of them. We saw some when we were in Birmingham at the quilt show in the summer. There was one area where they had a lot of quilted jackets and other things that they were doing with quilting material, like backpacks and things like that. But I mean, very right out there backpacks. They weren't just.
I think you could do some really interesting things.
Yeah.
Not just taking a quilt and making it into a jacket, but actually customizing the front of the jacket and that like that, and actually using different pieces of quilted material.
Yeah.
Sewn together. I think you could make some interesting things.
Well, I think you can make an interesting shirt that way too, except not put any batting in it.
Mhm.
Like you just make the fabric like kind of like an orphan block thing and cut it up and into a shirt. It would be a crazy patch shirt or something. Actually, I think Adam may have done something.
Well,
like
yeah,
that.
I did that with the what do you call it? The Tula pink.
Well, yeah, but he didn't he did major. I'm talking about ones that where the whole thing looks like it has all been totally.
Yeah, you could do that. I mean, I've seen shirts in what do you call it? You know that where was we? We were at in London. You know, at Liberty of London.
Liberty of London. Yeah.
And in the basement, they had shirts that were all like pieces of fabric that had holes in it and everything else, and they were charging arm and a leg for those.
Yeah, but those were like designer by somebody who I don't know, some Japanese designer. Or I don't know.
But
if
I
it's
looked at it
Japanese.
and said, I can make that.
Well, yeah, sure. Take an existing jacket, cut holes in it. Yeah,
Yeah, you know, you could do that. The only thing I would think that it would feel funny on with all the seams when you're wearing
I think
it.
you'd have to line it.
Yeah,
You'd
yeah.
have to line it. And I don't know what you do with that kind of thing. It would have to be a light lining with it. I don't know. You're the shirt person. I'm not the shirt person. I'll make the fabric. You make the
Yeah, but
clothes.
Don Cherry wore suit jackets, and I'm talking
Yeah.
more like a
Yeah,
bomber
but
jacket.
He also though wore really wild looking jackets.
Oh,
He had them custom made, and he always had those really stiff collars on them that I guess it was to hold his head up. I don't know. And anybody who doesn't know who we mean by Don Cherry, he's a Canadian sports personality. He was a guy who used to do sports commentary and stuff like that. He's kind of a Canadian icon, one of our many, with that. And he was a little weird too, like
A little bit.
a lot.
A
Weird.
little bit.
Like not all
Not
there.
politically correct.
Well,
Actually,
that was
that's
for sure.
what I ousted him, I think.
Yeah, he
I
got
can't remember.
canned from CBC.
I
because
can't
of-
remember what he said, though.
He said something and it was not even close to politically correct. It might have been a little racist,
Yeah.
and they canned him. Yeah. Joanna is here. Hello, Joanna. So, anyways, yeah. Well, there's always lots of possibilities in that, and I want to branch out in 2026 is going to be the year of the bag for me, I think, unless I get really bored. What are you laughing at?
Okay, it's the year of the bag.
Filthy mind. What?
I gotta start doing something other than shirts.
Well, the reason is I'm not bored with making quilts, but here's the problem. And you guys can save your ideas for what I should do with them because I've heard them all. I have a ton of quilts and they're just sitting here. I have donated quilts to different organizations. one thing I should look into though is the cancer, cancer treatment areas of our local hospital, because I know that there is a group or somebody who organizes that kind of thing for them. Because I guess when you're going through chemo and stuff like that, and you're sitting there for hours on end, you get cold with it, with the treatments and whatnot. So they like to, bundle up in those kind of things, and then they have something they take home with them as well. So I might look more into that in the new year too. But I've donated them to all kinds of different organizations. I've talked about these before, and the mixed messages you get when you donate a quilt, and that kind of thing. I will continue to do Quilts of Valor as well, because that's my favorite charity at the moment for giving quilts to. But I want to move into experimenting with bag making, and I mean a little bit more than your average little tote. So right now, today on Russ's Sewing Shenanigans, I was making my fabric for they call it, and you've probably heard of it, some of you, the Holland duffel bag. I bought the pattern for this. Somebody on one of my Wednesday sew days had one they had made, and I thought, that looks kind of cool. I like that. So I bought the pattern, and I've cut out the fabric and the interfacing for it all, stabilizer. But you were to quilt the big panel that you're going to be making the bag out of, some of the other ones. So I decided to do them on the embroidery machine. And I will talk a little bit more about this on a future episode of the Idiot Quilter when I get a little further on with the project. But I may have picked a quilting design for quilting that was a little intense. Took all day and part of yesterday to get that done. I don't know how well it's going to show up in this bag, but I'm really not that concerned about it, because the fabric I'm using is a bit busy on the outside of the duffel bag, and that's okay. I did it more for texture. So we'll see how this works out. It's an experiment. But I went through all kinds of patterns I have collected for making different types of bags. I've got some by Annie bags. I've got a few other ones. I learned about a new bag today that'll come in. We'll work with that. If you saw the unbagging that we did for the Santa Sack on Friday, we got a little thing by Clover for making jelly roll rugs, and we've already both made a jelly roll rug back some time ago, and I said I'd never do another one of those. But apparently there is a bag pattern that uses that tool, and Johanna, who's on here, which is Designing J, she had done one and showed it to us on Sewing Shenanigans, and I thought that's kind of cool, and a use for that device, plus the jelly roll that was in the bag too. So
yeah, I saw I remember we went into a shop one time and I said, oh, there's a really cool bag in there, and it was made like a jelly roll rug too. Yeah.
So I'll have to buy the pattern. Pattern isn't cheap. It's about $32, $35 for the pattern. But I also found video stuff showing you step by step on YouTube as well. So that'll be helpful. So yeah, I'll have, no, sorry, I did not. That was for the bag I'm working on now. I didn't find it, but I think there is probably, they do have some videos on the website of the original creator of the pattern. I did see that. So yeah, I'm going to try to do this in sort of a logical progression. Like with each bag I make, learn a new technique or a new something different about the bag that I haven't tried before, and see how it goes. And I've got some by Annie ones to do as well that I've had forever that I bought, and I've not around to doing them. And I like by Annie ones. A lot of people don't like her patterns. They are complicated, but she has a video that goes with every one of her patterns that you purchase for. You get a coupon for it when you buy the pattern or something, or you can pay additional $5. I forget how it works. And you can go to YouTube and get into this private link, and she goes through it very thoroughly. And I've watched them before and done other ones of hers, and the end result is always good, I find. But they do take a little time and patience. What are people saying? Backing up here. Oh, Adam's here. Hi, Adam. Do you want some custom made ones, John? Oh, I think he's talking underwear. Yeah. Sherry loves making bags. And Barb says, I've stopped making quilts too. I focused on bags and small wall hangings. Yeah, I think after this Stormy Sea one, it kind of said to me, okay, I'm not going to be making a quilt that size again. Because I didn't really enjoy the process on it. It just got to the point where, am I ever going to get this thing done? And I was pushing myself. I gave myself the deadline of Christmas to get the whole thing done. And so it is. I made the deadline, but I don't think I'm going to do that kind of size again. Barb says, I've stopped making quilts too. I focused on bags and small wall hangings. Diana is here from Plymouth, UK. Happy Christmas. Same to you, Diana. Inez is making some small wallets to put in gift cards. That's a good idea. And Joanna says, yes, you do get cold and tired. And I think she's referring to people going through cancer treatments. Barb says, is the pattern from Two Ladies? Are you talking about the one with the jelly rug ones? Because if you are, it's called Aunties. Two Aunties is where that pattern comes from. Maureen says, my grandson asked me what I do with my quilts when they are finished, and I told him I fold them up and put them in a cupboard. He said it must be a big cupboard. Yeah, I wish I had a cupboard that big. Terry says, I started making table runners, and my mom likes making her quilts. Her last one that she made was a Scottish dog. Okay, is that what was on the fabric, or is that a technique or a style? And let's see, table runners. Yeah, I've got a lot of table runners too. I kind of like making table runners, but how many tables has one got? And I do switch them out with the seasons, and I've given a few away, but again, they pile up. Faith says, okay, quilting, YouTube creator. She just made a jacket from a quilt. Her channel is very varied. Oh, well, I may have seen.
There's quite a few quilting channels.
Yeah, there are that have
shown how to make a
make
jacket from it. There's
quilt.
various jackets.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen ones where they just sort of hang. They don't have like buttons in the front. And I think that looks kind of unfinished to me.
Oh, Lydia's here. Hi, Lydia. And she finally bound her Barnstar sampler. That's big enough. Yeah. Well, that's the one Walter didn't like. He didn't like the colors in it. Yeah. And apparently, well, it's been out now for a while, but the woman who created the pattern for the Barnstar sampler has another one. I think it's Garden something or whatever. There's all kinds of sew-alongs you're going to be doing it and things like that. Not me. Nope. I think Russ might be going to work on that in the new year at some point. I'm not sure. Yeah, and also to me it looks very much like Barnstar Sampler too. And I mean, Barnstar Sampler, it wasn't a bad pattern or anything like that. It was just there's so many, well, it's a sampler, so many different blocks, and it seemed like you never got anything done. You were making and making and making, and nothing seemed to be getting done with it, at least for me. Design Joanna, yeah, Auntie's 2 Kahat Dine tote pattern, AT641. Yeah, that's the one we're talking about with the jelly roll rug, the tube maker or whatever with it. Joanne's was beautiful. She did a really nice job. I think Joanna said that she had taken it as a class. So anyways, that's plans for the future. We'll see how that works out. So let's back up a bit because I did jump ahead a little bit. So announcements as usual, sewing with me Wednesdays as usual. Now, this Wednesday coming is the last one we will be doing for a couple of weeks. Because the following Wednesday is Christmas Eve. And we are doing a Christmas Eve social on here. Details and link for that, it will be a Zoom, will come out not next week, but the week after, or maybe towards the tail end of next week. The link will be out probably when I put up So Chatty. If I put it up too soon, people will lose it or they'll get confused with everything else that's happening. So there will be that. So we also are getting things ready for Christmas Day, that the day before too. So that's why there won't be a sewing with Stephen on that Wednesday, and there won't be one on the following Wednesday because that's New Year's Eve. And although we don't have any plans for New Year's Eve at the moment with it, other people may be having that, and I have a feeling I just want a little time off. But also because the next day, which is New Year's Day, I'm having a pop-up. So lots of things happening. Stay tuned. Everything, the links and everything for them will be in show notes for upcoming videos I put out. So next Saturday, pop-up sew day. I don't think I said that, did I?
I'm not sure.
You don't listen to me. But like, who cares? Whatever, selective hearing. Yeah, so next Saturday, December 20th, starting at 8 a.m., but you come and go as you please, will be another pop-up sew day. I will have details in the show notes. Actually, when this goes up for rebroadcast later today, it'll be in the show notes for this one, but it'll also be in tomorrow's show notes for my vlog and in the Idiot Quilter on Tuesday and in So Chatty on Friday. So lots there. And if you're on the mailing list, you will get it to your email box sometime tomorrow morning. Okay, so all of that. Charlotte says Andy's 2 Bailey Island Hobo Tote is fun. Jelly Roll Project 2. Oh, okay. I had never, well, I have heard of it. I have a pattern from that I've had for a while from Auntie's too as well. It's the Mary Poppins bag, or Poppin bag they call it. I bought that pattern years ago. It seems I even bought the frame for it because it's got a frame for closing it up like a Mary Poppins bag. And yeah, that's one that's in my list of bags to do as well. But I'll have to check out their other ones as well. Molly's here. Hi, Molly. Okay, so what else? Okay, we've talked about Walter Sew Day. Okay, So Chatty last week, we did the unbagging of the Santa sack. And I think I gave the wrong impression to some people. I think it made it sound like that I wasn't really happy with it, that I didn't think I got my money's worth out of it. That is not true. Although we started off with the first 2 things we opened up sort of negative because, yeah, they were crap. I mean, they had a mesh bag with a zipper, a small one. Well, you can buy those. I looked them up on Amazon, and you can buy them for about $2 a piece, Canadian. Okay, so, and I have a few of them already that I had bought at one point in time, and I don't really use them. I mean, they are useful, but I thought that was the first gift.
Yeah,
and I
so
thought that
didn't really set the tone.
No. And then the second gift, I think it was the second one or maybe the third, was 2 branded items. One was a pen from their store. They have good pens. They're nice. I have several of them from past Santa sacks. And a keychain.
To me, I think it shouldn't have been a numbered pouch. I think it should have been stuff that was thrown in the bottom of the bag or in or an
bonus
unnumbered bag.
Yeah,
right?
as a bonus item or something like that. So that didn't set the mood very well. But as we worked our way through the bag, more and more things came until it reached sort of a climax. And it wasn't the last gift, but it was, I think, the second to last. And that was the big, and it's called a Toteology bag. And what it is if you have stripology rulers, any size, and several of them, and I have 3 different sizes of the stripology rulers, they fit in this bag. So if you're going to a retreat and you want to take those rulers, or if you want to take other rulers too, like a 24 1-inch ruler will fit in the bag as well. Cutting mat will fit in the bag. A wool pressing mat, a larger one, will fit in the bag. And all kinds of other things with it. And they have like vinyl, very heavy vinyl, see-through pockets. And then the whole bag opens up and you can drop a project in it. I used it on Saturday to the retreat. I thought that blew my mind. I thought that was a really great thing. That made it for me. And that retails in Canadian, okay, remember, I'm talking in Canadian prices, $65. Okay, so that was pretty good value, I thought. The other things they had in there that didn't really thrill me right off was there was a password book. Now, had this discussion today on Russ's sewing shenanigans. And what it was, it's a little spiral bound book by Bonnie K. Hunter where you can list, it's all the pages are set up so you can put in the name of a website and your password for it and that kind of thing. But what I questioned was security of that. If you were to take that with you somewhere and leave it behind, somebody would know your passwords for things. And although they tell us we shouldn't do it, I do know, and I'm guilty of this too, we often use the same password for everything, so we don't forget it. Walter is not a fan of that. He changes his regularly. I do mix mine up a little bit, but I do have a tendency to forget them. But if I was to write that stuff down in a book and leave it behind, you never know. So I question that. Also, and this sounds bad, but it's an old person's method.
Write stuff down. If you write stuff down, well, first of all, one problem is you write the stuff down in the thing. You got to put it in a secure place, right?
Yeah.
Really. Because even if somebody broke into your home and stole the book or something, or found the book or something, which is probably remote, but they would have all your information.
Yeah.
They could do all kinds of things with it.
And even on the very first page of the book, it has a place for you to put your name and to put your email address and your address and your password for getting into your, for your email.
Yeah, so it's a loaded, it has all the stuff that you're not supposed to give scammers. Yeah. But anyway, and the other part of the problem is, it's okay, you've written down your password and all that other stuff. And somewhere along the line, you may be prompted by a company to change your password. So you go in and you change your password, but then you forget to write it down
in the book. See, I do keep a list of my passwords, but I keep them as an encrypted file on my computer, buried way into the depths of my directory structure. And it's encrypted, and the only way you can get into it is you have to put in a password to get into that too. So I can remember the password. And now what they're doing, a lot of sites, and what Apple is doing, if you have a Mac or whatever, is they have a password key. And mine, it registers all the passwords I use. If I go on to a new website that I want to come back to and I'm registering for it, like signing in kind of a thing, what it does is it buries it in this special file, and it has to read my fingerprint to get into it. So that's on, I don't know if other computer systems like Android or Windows computers or whatever have something similar to that, but that's just how MacBooks work. And I really like that too. But if I was to write, I don't write anything down. I do electronic lists of everything. I try not to use too much paper because paper just gets...
Yeah, Julie put a message up. It says, look what happened to your old housekeeper's helper.
Yes. Yeah. Stole an old iPhone from us, and that was in one of my vlogs a few weeks ago. I had that sequence from an old Stephen and Walter Live.
They weren't too bright, and they had a friend that said, oh, just get the phone and we can break into it and get all the passwords out of it.
Now, there wasn't anything on that phone because it had been deleted, but he didn't know that, and he had to search for it. So think about if I put a passbook. Well, we don't have that cleaning lady anymore, but you know, that's, you know, you have that laying out, and if you had somebody come into your house,
And they had to get into a drawer
yeah,
to
to
be able
find
to
that.
find it. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't. They did a little hunt, but let's just say let's say a service person came into your home to, you know, service something, and you know, maybe there's several of them. May they have some helpers or something, and they walk in for some reason into your office area, and you've got it laying out on your desk.
You have your little passbook laying next to your
Yeah.
computer. This is my passwords on the outside, and somebody sees that. Well, they can just take it.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's hard to remember all the number of passwords we need for everything today, but I don't think keeping them in this little booklet is the best method for that. So I don't know, to each his own, just saying. But also, I kind of thought, if I was in a quilt store and I saw this sitting there and it was listed as $9.95 American. I think I looked it up or whatever. Let's see the passbook. Yeah, it works out to about $13 Canadian for this thing. I don't know if I would buy it. I mean, and I have a feeling that they may have had a few of these because there was a copyright inside it, and it was 2019. Okay. So I suspect they had some of these laying around that, you know, no one was buying, and they thought, well, we'll get those out of here with that. I don't know, maybe not, but you know, whatever.
Or it's just somebody that works at the store that says, oh, this is really good because I use one of these.
Yeah. Well, Barb says it's a dated book. Yes, it is. So I don't know. Maybe they got them in the store though, because their clientele, let's face it, quilters tend to be older people, and you know, older people are not necessarily, everybody is not necessarily into the electronic age. And so, you know, for them it'd be appealing, but I just see too many problems with it. But anyways, it was in the bag. Now, the one thing that really got my goat though was the damn purple thing. You know, the little piece of plastic. I know they're great for pushing out corners, and there's the square at the bottom of it is a 1/4 inch. So if you need to check a seam, you know, allowance or something like that, and you can, if you want to thread something through like a drawstring, it's got a thing for, you know, doing that. Yeah. And they're a dime a dozen. I don't know how many purple things I have laying around the house, because I've gotten them in swag bags. They've been given away at things for free, this kind of stuff. I don't use it. I don't really find it that useful. I find for pushing out corners on things, it's a little limp.
Yeah, it does look a little.
And I like something a little firmer. But bump. And yeah. So I thought, that's not too impressive in the bag. I know some people absolutely love the purple thing, and that's great. But do I need another one? No, I don't use the ones that I have. So actually, I gave it to you, didn't I?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I'll probably never use it.
You'll probably never use it either. So, and you know, retail value of that's about $5 Canadian, where I could find. So now, then there's the tube maker, all right, that we were talking about earlier for the bag. Well, before I found out about you could make a bag using it, I made we both made jelly roll rugs, as we've already said before, and I found it very tedious, but I didn't have a tube maker for it, and apparently it's so much easier if you have this tube maker. Okay, that's great. But I don't intend to make another jelly roll rug. We have two. Where's yours?
It's in the closet somewhere.
Oh, well, it's got it in the closet. Mine's sitting actually down here in front of our patio doors out to the patio. But they had that, and then they had the pattern came later on in one of the things, the jelly roll. Well, I already have the pattern. You probably do too.
I probably have it somewhere, which I haven't really. Yeah,
I took a class.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we took a class, and,
We took a class,
and
it
that
was
was
boring.
part of it. Yeah, it was. It was very boring. It's tedious to make them. So I didn't really need another pattern in that. And you know, the jelly roll rug thing, was popular a few years ago, but it's one of those things. It's like, you know, bowls, cozy bowls or whatever, or mug rugs or all that kind of stuff. They're all novelty kind of things, and you know, they all have their day and then they die out. So maybe they know something we don't know. Maybe they're coming back. Might be okay if for somebody who's never made one or something like that, but I made it. So, you know, that didn't throw me. And there was a jelly roll as well. So do you see a theme? 3 of the gifts rotated around making a jelly roll rug. Okay, the jelly roll's nice to have because I priced out the jelly roll and it was a Ruby Star one, and it retails in around about $60 or so. So yeah, I mean, I don't have to make a rug with it. Actually, I might use that jelly roll thing to make this bag now with it. And the tube maker is around $15. So okay.
Actually, that's surprised the tube maker is only 15.
I was too. Well, that's on, I looked that one up on Amazon.ca. But yeah, I was surprised it was only $15 because I've seen it at our local quilt store and I think it retails around there for about 23. So I guess it depends on where you get it too. And I've been trying to think, is there other things I could use it for? I don't know. I've seen you might be able to use it to, if part of the process of making bag handles for it. So there is possibilities there. What else was in that bag? Oh, there was a glue pen. I don't use glue pens, but there was also a panel, and the panel was sort of a you cut out pieces for doing applique, and so it might come in handy to help you with your applique pieces. I'm not a fan of glue pens, but I know a lot of people use them. English paper piecing. I have used them for that, but I don't do that because it's hand sewing, but I tried it once. So I don't know. It might be handy for something in the future. There was a spool of glide thread that I liked because that's what I quilt with. When I do my actual quilting on Lucy, I use glide thread, so that was okay. So at first I thought, am I getting my value out of this? And then of course when I saw the Toadology bag, I went, this has made it so worth it. So I added it all up. I paid $197, $198, okay, for it. That includes tax. Everything in it, conservative estimate based on what I could find primarily on Amazon for a lot of these things, $260. So $60 more than what I paid if I bought all these things separately and whatnot. So will I get the bag again? Yeah, I am. I will get the bag again, but I'm going to get it for a reason that you may or may not realize or agree with. To support Kawartha Quilting, because I love Kawartha Quilting. And I think they did a relatively good job. And when I compare it next to the Missouri Star quilt box that cost me over $300 Canadian, I think I got better value from the Santa Sack from Kawartha Quilting.
Yeah.
I won't be buying another Missouri Star quilt box, but I don't want to say too much because 2 videos are already up. So the first 10 days are already there. The next 5 days, days 11 to 15, go up tomorrow of us opening that. So I don't want to say too much more about that. So anyways, yeah, some people felt that I didn't think that I got my money's worth. I think I did. I think I did.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you open it up and you're not sure. And then afterwards you think about it and you think about it differently.
Yeah. And
Kawartha Quilting is a family business.
yes, it is. And Linda's Trendy Threads is here from Kentucky.
If you go back a bit.
Yeah, where?
Well, I scrolled up.
Oh.
Housekeeper.
Dude, look what happened with the old housekeeper. Okay, we read that one.
No, you missed one. You have to go back. I jumped ahead when I saw that. So if you go back a bit.
Who did I miss?
Keep going. There, you've got Designing Jay. Adam still says, I'm currently making the most intense quilt I've ever made.
at the moment, and I may enter into
the
the
festival
festival
next year.
Sure. So are you going to talk about that on your vlog, Adam? And show us what you're doing? And what's Design J? Oh, Diana is here. And she's back from Quebec City, Christmas market. I'm a little sick, but hope that improves before I fly home. So was it good, Diana? Barb says that pattern is $34. What pattern are we talking about? Oh, the Auntie's one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it in a range of prices. It's cheaper in the US than it is Canadian. By the way, Barb, you have a tendency to quote us USA prices. And I know you're a Canadian. So what gives? Just asking for a friend. Yeah. Let's see. Did I miss anybody? Think I've got everybody now. Barb never uses her purple thing either. Oh, M is here. And Inez says, my son whittled a tongue depressor for me to push out corners. Don't know if he was trying to tell me something. Like what? Use your tongue? Adam says, glue pen is great for binding, Stephen. Holds it down while you stitch in the ditch. Yeah, I've heard people use it for that. What I do is I clip my binding. I go all the once I've sewn it on the back side of the quilt, because I do machine binding. I don't do hand because there would be blood, as I've mentioned many times before. And I bring it over to the front and I clip it. Yes, it takes a little bit of time to do that, but that works for me. And when I stitch it about 1/8 of the inch from the fold on the front. And I don't worry about what it's going to look like on the back with the, getting it lined up. That's the one thing about hand sewing it. You can get it all lined up. I use invisible thread. Can't see it because it's invisible. So yeah, that works for me. I mean, I don't know if I was to put it in a real formal show that I might get criticized for that, but I'm not going to. So, Maureen says that a glue pen is good for curve piecing instead of using lots of pens. Yeah, actually, that's an idea. If you do Drunkard's Path ones give me a bit of a pain in the butt. And then, yeah, we already answered Barb's question, didn't we? That, yes, it is a family business. And Lydia says, Adam, do you apply heat to set the glue? And he says he does. Okay.
But Maureen says she doesn't use heat on the sew line, glue pen. So
the
sew line is the one that we got.
Yeah, that's the one we got in there. I didn't read really the instructions on that yet to see what did I do with it. Oh, I gave it to you. Yeah, I paid for the damn bag.
Well, I give it back to you.
I don't want it back right now. Thank you very much. I know where. Well, maybe I don't know where it is.
I know where it is.
Oh, do you? Today you do. Lydia says, Maureen, to secure binding, you mean, or generally? I know you can use the pen for things like paper piecing, but I was under the impression that it's a light hold.
Yeah, I would think it would be a light hold.
I don't know if it's got better hold than an Elmer's purple washable glue stick or not, because I know some people use that. But whatever. But whatever works for you.
Yeah,
that's all that matters. You do your own thing. If it works for you, then do it for sure. I know what works for me, and I'm sticking to what works for me. So, anyways, I thought the bag was. I'm fine with it. I am fine with it, and I'll get it again next year. Yeah, he says Adam says he uses heat to set the glue. Roxanne, Elmer's, sew line, etc. Dry iron. Okay. All right. So what else? I already talked about the Missouri Star quilt when the next one comes up for that box. I did finish, and I'll be showing it in more detail on my vlog, This is in 3D printing now, not quilting. Santa's Toy Shop, and I love it. I think it is so cute, and it turned out really well. Do you like it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he likes it. I still have the Tuscan Villa to do, and I've had the pieces made for it for a while. So, thing is, I have to dedicate pretty much a day to it because I have to spread it out on my cutting mat, and I put another mat that is strictly for gluing because I tend to get glue on everything, including my fingers, and I use like super glue. So you know what happens, you get an itch, you go out like this and go, and so you're walking around for half a day with your fingers stuck to your face. So yeah, but I got to get on with that. Something else I want to make. Now, somebody brought this up to me on Wednesday, on the So Day. My favorite candy of all time is Turkish Delight. And I mean, not the stuff covered in chocolate. I don't know if the Americans can get that anyways, but we can up here. I just mean original Turkish Delight, which comes from the Middle East and is made with rose water. Can have other essence in it as well, but it's sort of a jelly-like candy. It's dusted in like fine powdered sugar, like an icing sugar, and it just melts in your mouth. Well, the stuff you buy here doesn't, because they use gelatin in it to set it. And it's basically like a piece of Jell-O that's been sitting around for a week.
Well, it's kind of rubbery.
Yeah, kind of like hospital Jell-O.
And even a lot of this commercially produced stuff from the Middle East that comes in boxes are made with some sort of a setting agent like gelatin, if not gelatin.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the Muslims and Jewish people won't eat gelatin, regular gelatin, because it's made from pork products. So, but they'll use a vegetarian gelatin in them. But they're kind of they're not like real Turkish Delight.
No, it's not. It was something that my grandmother used to get me when I was a kid, and that's where I loved it. And any place we go where I see it, I will buy some to try, and I never get good stuff. Even in Istanbul, I bought some in Istanbul. Well, nope, it wasn't any better than the stuff here. So obviously they were selling it tourist quality kind of thing. But there's a guy, and I've reviewed his YouTube channel before a long time ago, called
Max Miller.
Yeah, Max Miller, and he does the tasting history. Tasting history, yeah, and he looks into different foods, and he looks at their origins and how they were made, and he did this one on Turkish Delight, and it's kind of involved. It takes like you about 3 hours to make it, but we went out and we got the ingredients that I need, and one of them is rose water, and rose water wasn't easy to get. We went to the bulk barn. That's, a place where they used to sell it. Yeah, they used to sell it, but and I asked one of the help there, do you have any rose water? She says, no, we don't sell it anymore. And she suggested we check the international section in a grocery store. Well, we did find it. So we got rose water. Everything else is basically sugar, water, cornstarch. There's a lot of cornstarch. Powdered sugar, regular sugar. Cream of tartar or citric acid. Mm-hmm. And then you've got, you've got to bring it up. You got to use a candy thermometer with it, and, all that kind of stuff. But I'm going to try this recipe and see how it works out. But I love it. Adam says, he loves Turkish Delight too. The Greek make a very good Greek Delight too. You want me to ship you some, Stephen? Well, that's very nice of you to offer, Adam. But given the way Canada Post works or stuff like that, it may be next Christmas by the time I get it, and I don't know if we'd end up having to pay duty on it or whatever. Yeah, but thank you for the offer. Very nice of you to do that, but yeah, don't worry about it. I'm going to try to make my own, and I'll let you all know how that turns out. I may video it whenever I get to it. and do it.
Yeah, the I doubt the health food shops in our area would sell anything like that because they wouldn't.
They might.
Well,
We don't-
we do have several places where you can buy it, but
Right.
it's not the kind that Steve remembers when he had a kid. And
No.
then actually, it is. I never really cared for it when I was a kid, but I know what he's talking about because I remember it too. When I had it a kid, it's not the stuff we get is rubbery.
Yeah,
And the stuff that he had as a kid is very a light jelly, and it's really
it's very soft.
it's very soft, and it just melts,
It melts
in your mouth.
And this
And
other stuff they make
this
here
the
doesn't.
stuff that you can bet here now is everything you get is chewy. So
Yeah. Now I did try to make a few years ago Turkish delight, but it called for gelatin in it, and no, it did not turn out. It was horrible.
we'll give it a try. Actually, who is it? One of our subscribers made it in Nova Scotia, New Brunswick. Heidi.
Oh, Heidi made it. Yeah,
Yeah.
Heidi made it, and it turned out for her. But she
Yeah.
says it does take a long time. And according to, well, it was Heidi who put me on to
Yeah.
Max Miller's
Yeah.
method of doing it. He's got a whole video on it, and I watched that through. But Teresa's here. Hi, Teresa.
Teresa said she was watching a video the other day of making Turkish light. You probably saw Max
Might have been
Miller.
Max Miller. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched that one too.
He's very good for all kinds of different things. I bought his cookbook, actually. I haven't made anything out of it, but I marked some pages for some interesting things to try. Barb says, I think you have to go to an authentic Turkish shop.
But even like we were in Turkey.
Yeah, we were at the Turkish market.
Yeah, we
in
were in
Istanbul.
Turkey in Istanbul, and we couldn't. The stuff we got there still wasn't very good.
Yeah. So I don't know.
And see, I think what happens now, today's society is a lot of these places that make this stuff make it so that it lasts a long time.
Yeah, it's got preservatives in it of some sort. So, but anyways, it's an experiment. Have to try it out and see how it works. Bonnie says the glide thread is probably to sew your jelly rug together. Could have been. It was sort of a neutrally color to it, so that might have been it too. So really, if they were doing this all on a theme, I'm not pleased with the theme in that case. But whatever. Dubrovnik says, Stephen, I'm thinking of ordering Kawartha box next year. What month do you have to order it? They don't put it out that early. I think I ordered it in about May or June. Might have been even into July. I don't remember exactly. Just keep an eye in the springtime and that on for their Santa sack, because they usually announce it on their website. Adam says, I've made it before too. It's nice, but was a bit thicker than the proper stuff. I know the one you're talking about. We can get that here. My mom loves it too, but like me, will keep eating until gone. Oh yeah, it's good stuff. Yep, but it's pure sugar for sure. So if you're diabetic or about to become one, you might want to be careful with it. So anyways, that's another thing to explore. Just have to figure out when. So other things that are coming up. Tomorrow we have the neighbors coming in for a Christmas drink, and that'll be nice and everything. So nothing much more to say there. We're getting things ready for it. I have a little bag of goodies, and I've already shown you that for them. We told them not to bring anything, but if you remember when we went to Holland, to the Netherlands in the spring, we went to a market that had fabric and stuff, and I found those panels that had the little dachshunds on them, and they have a little dachshund, little mocha. So when I saw that, I said, well, I've got to get that, and I made them a bag with that on it, out of that, and I 3D printed them some little dachshunds. I don't know what they'll do with them. One is colored kind of like the dachshund they had when they first moved in here, Mocha, Mia. But Mia has since passed away, and then they got Mocha. And so the other one's colored like Mocha as well. And a bottle of wine kind of thing. Nothing too elaborate or whatever. I think I threw in some 3D printed Christmassy things in there too, for it. So I don't want them to feel that they're obligated to give us something.
Yeah, because we started doing that, and they started giving us elaborate gifts, and we weren't really into that. So.
No. And speaking of gift giving, well, we're going to deliver the Christmas bags that you saw me making since September to the ladies at Ultimate Sewing on Thursday. We're going over to get rid of those. The tree will look bare because I have them all underneath our Christmas tree right now. Am I taking them away? Well, there's no gifts under our tree. Boo-hoo. Yeah, no, that's by our choice. And what else is coming? Oh, okay. Next Sunday when we do our live, it might be a little shorter because that's our anniversary. And I made reservations at a new restaurant in our area. That sounds really quite, well,
Interesting
and expensive, but that's okay because usually what we do on our anniversary is stay home and eat lobster tails, or lobster. And yeah, when I saw this came up, it was just by accident. It came up in the Facebook feed, kind of a thing. Actually, the lady that runs Ultimate Sewing, she had posted this up. I don't know if she's been there or she knows the people that run it or whatever. It's got good reviews and it looks really cool. Inside is something a little different. So yeah, we're going to do that. But we'll be on at our usual time at 4 o'clock. We'll just probably cut out a little bit early. Our reservation's for 6 o'clock. It won't take us long to get there. So yeah. And yes, if you want to know how many years our anniversary, it's our 42nd. So 42 years. Well, they say the first 50 are the hardest.
Feels like forever.
Feels like 60. Oh, jeez. Yeah, really. And just one other thing about government. I'm so happy about this. Our Prime Minister got a Christmas present the other day. Another one walked across the floor and joined the Liberal Party from the Conservative Party. Our government is one seat away from a majority government. Stick that up your Polyev. That's the name of the conservative leader. He's Trump in training, mini Trump. So yeah, that was good news. That was really good news. Yeah. Okay, so today's main topic, which we're getting to, is we're going to talk about gift giving. We're giving lots of things away in that. So we thought we'd talk a little bit about, do you give gifts? Now, you get to a certain age where, your family have all grown up. If you've got kids in the family, like grandchildren or something, yeah, you always buy for the grandchildren kind of a deal. But for the your own children who are all grown up now, do you still give them gifts? Do they give you gifts? Or do you just forget about it? In my family, as we all got older, and then when my brother and sister got married and started having kids, we draw names. We'd give to the kids, of course, the grandchildren and whatnot, my nephews and nieces. But, for the adults, we drew names. That didn't last very long because what do you buy people that have everything or can go out and buy their own stuff? Walter and I don't give each other a gift because we want something, we buy it. There's nothing under the sun that's new to us, kind of a thing. And what do you spend? Do you have a budget?
I mean, we went last few years where I was buying Steve fabric and stuff like that. And it's, it's fun to give a gift, but then, I mean, we buy our own fabric and stuff. And...
Yeah, so we don't need to give anything. Just looking here. First nice. You'll come back to the Birmingham. Adam says you'll have to come back to Birmingham. You can stock up on it. There's an idea.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, we really enjoyed our time in Birmingham.
Yeah, we did
the show,
actually,
at the quilt show. And that was nice. So who knows? We're going to Japan, so in the spring. So I don't know. John says, "Wow, you guys don't look old enough to be celebrating 42 years." Thank you, John. We love you a lot. We loved you a lot before. We love you even more now. And Adam says they met in kindergarten. Yes, we're just young things. Yes. I was 3. I saw him at the other side of the sandbox and went, he's hot. Come with me, little boy. No, no, actually, I got a nice compliment yesterday. I was being funny with the group for the sewing thing, and when we parked, there was a car, which was the car belonging to the guy who organizes it, Brendan. And I came in and says, okay, to these 4 people saying, I says, how old are you? Now, Brendan doesn't like to say his age, but he did say he was 61. And I said to his partner, I said, and how old are you? And he's a little younger. He's in his 50s. And then Gail said, and Gail, how old are you? And she's 60, I think. Yeah, because we're at her 60th birthday party. And that kind of thing. And I said, all right, I'm older than any of you. You should leave that parking spot free for us old men to get our stuff in easily. Now, it was a joke. And they're going, well, how old are you? And I said, well, I'm 68. Feels like I'm pushing 70. And they go, you are? Didn't think you were that old. And I said, there's a secret. Moisturizer. You're never too young to start moisturizing daily. Yeah, and wrinkle cream. Under the eye, vitamin E, I use a little of that. And the joke with that is I think it was my 50th. You bought me, as a joke, a tube of wrinkle cream for men or something. And actually, I used it and I liked it. So I've got different moisturizer now. But yeah, but it was a bit of a joke. So
Barb's a party pooper here. She says, can you get Turkish Delight through customs? Oh, I'm sure. Because
Probably.
There's nothing natural in it.
yeah. Who knows what you
it's
can get through
mostly
customs anymore?
The food you can't take is anything with seeds in it, anything fresh, anything meat, and all the natural stuff. You can take any kind of candy with you.
Yeah. Yeah, who knows? What was it? Oh, Darcy is here.
And not only that, you don't have to tell them. You pull the Chinese.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, don't know. Well, I like to call that pulling a blonde, but apparently that's not politically correct. Neither is being pulling a Chinese. Adam said, Inez says, yes, I give gifts to all and neighbors if they show up. Adam says, cleaning supplies, Turkish Delight. Yeah. And Gloria says, happy early anniversary. Thank you, Gloria.
I mean, if you can get hair products through, why can't you get?
Yeah. The other thing.
Yeah, actually, no, but
What?
it doesn't contain the gelatin, Barb. The proper Turkish Delight does not have gelatin in it.
Yeah, and actually, the stuff that that gets Muslims and the Jewish people in an uproar is the stuff that comes from pigs' trotters.
Yeah,
What do they call
it
that?
doesn't come from beef; it comes from pork.
There's a word for that. What is it? Ret something.
Yeah, I can't remember.
With that, yes, and they can't eat that.
Yeah,
Too.
Renee, no,
Renee? No, not Renee. That's the name of it.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. Something like
yeah,
that.
but actually, true Turkish Delight, the stuff that we're talking about, does not have gelatin in it.
No, doesn't have any form of it in that.
It's basically sugar, water, and rose water.
Yes.
And cornstarch.
And the tricky part is making sure you have it at the right temperature. That's why you have to use a candy thermometer.
Yeah.
For it when you boil it and the thing, because it's that process that actually, I guess, makes it eventually solidify.
But technically, even if it did have gelatin in it, I don't think it would be banned because probably deodorant has gelatin in it.
No, nothing like putting a little piggy's trotter under your arms.
I don't think it has anything rendered. No, it's not rendered.
Oh, it's called something.
Yeah, but there's something in cheese that they don't.
That has that in it too.
Yeah,
or something.
Renee.
Renee.
It's Renee is in cheese. But I think what you're talking in gelatin, I can't remember what.
I don't know. You're the one that told me that.
Yeah.
Because it's in some candies too.
Yeah.
If you read the ingredients on candies, it's in some candies as well. But whatever. But anyways, back to gift giving. So since we're running out of time on this, and I was going to talk about it, I'm just putting out questions here. A lot of people get into credit card trouble at Christmas because, you get started and you may have a budget and you may have a list, but then you see a lot of cute things. And of course, retailers definitely know how to get you in on that. And then people have the after Christmas shock when the bills come in January and go into a whole new set of depression. We never do that. Never have done that. I have never been in debt with Christmas gifts or anything like that ever. I usually had a plan and a budget, and I pretty much stuck to it because it is a very dangerous time of the year, for that kind of stuff. And I was going to say, have you ever, but maybe we'll save this for another day. Maybe this would be good on Christmas Eve to talk about, ever had a bad reaction to a gift that you got, or got a bad reaction from a gift you gave? And I'm thinking about handmade gifts here, especially. You have to be careful who you choose. You're going to give a quilt to, or a table runner, or a bag, because not everybody appreciates the time and effort and expense you went to make them something unique and one of a kind. So you got to pick your people carefully. Some people are just not worthy of what you make. So there it is. Adam found it.
Renee, that's in cheese, but actually gelatin is what collagen they call it.
Collagen?
Yeah, it's hydrolyzed collagen.
No, you told me it started with an R.
No, that's Renee. That's in cheese.
Well, then why were you saying is in Turkish delight? That
I didn't say that. I don't know where you're getting that from.
From you?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Anyways, for religious purposes, it has to be made
Renee
originally.
is a natural enzyme that coagulates milk proteins to separate liquid from the solid cheese.
Well, there you go. Adam's got there. Renette is an enzyme complex traditionally sourced from the fourth stomach of a young ruminant animal's bone connection to the industry source material that used to curdle milk and cheese making.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
Anyway.
Is that in gelatin?
No.
Yeah, what the hell's in gelatin?
Collagen.
I am so confused.
Oh, well, never mind.
Anyways, never mind. Yeah. Yeah, Suzanne says too, Renette. Okay, whatever. It's there. I'm done.
Okay.
I am done with it. Okay, anyways, we were going to talk about gift giving. We never get to whatever we're going to talk about because we sit here and blab on about everything else, but whatever. Liddy says she used to love cheese. Yeah. Said, I'm never eating again. Clear as mud. Yep, it wasn't, as you summed it up. Okay, everybody. So thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week on live, and all the other things that we put out during the week as well. So I hope you'll tune in. Keep in mind, Pop-Up Sew Day next Saturday. Link will be in the show notes for this and in everything I put up next week. And then we'll be into Christmas proper.
Gelatin
what now?
is made from extracting collagen from bones.
Okay. Adam, you're just too clever. You're going into Google, aren't you, Adam? You're using AI. So anyways, yeah. Learn something new